You've come back to Bellewood. The lanterns are lit, and the fire's glow spills across the tavern floor. Sit closer now. Let the hearth tell you a story.
Eleanor White tightened her shawl as the night wind teased loose strands of her hair. The orchard lane ahead was alive with faint golden lanterns swinging from branches like low-hung stars. Beneath her boots, the road was damp and uneven, still carrying the scent of afternoon rain. This was her 32nd Harvest Night Vigil, and though the ritual never changed, candles, prayers, the bell tolling 3 times, she felt unsteady, as though tonight carried a weight she couldn't name. She shifted the lantern in her hand, its flame dancing nervously. In the distance, the tavern bell tolled once. Low and heavy, the sound settled into her chest like a memory not quite her own. "You're out late, Miss White." The voice came from her right, warm, low, and steady. She turned sharply. There, just beyond the path, stood a man leaning lightly on a stripped branch he'd whittled smooth. His coat hung open despite the chill, and his hat was tipped low, throwing half his face in shadow. "Mr. Hale," she said, surprised at how his name felt on her lips. "I thought you were still in the southern fields." "I was." He stepped closer, boots crunching softly on the wet leaves. "But the harvest is in. It seemed a good night to come home." Home. The word curled warm in the space between them, though neither moved to close the gap. 2. The long walk, building tension. They walked in silence for a time, the orchard arching above like the ribs of a cathedral. Apples hung low in the lantern light, their skins dulled to bronze and russet in the dusk. "Will you be at the tavern vigil?" Eleanor asked. "That was my plan," Hale said, his voice thoughtful. "But I could be persuaded elsewhere." Eleanor smiled faintly. "The whole village will be there." "All the better," he murmured. "No one will notice if we linger outside." The words wrapped around her like the faint scent of wood smoke on his coat. She dared not answer, only let her lantern sway gently in her grasp. As they passed beneath a crooked apple tree, a soft breeze stirred the mist at their feet. It curled and twisted like pale hands reaching upward before dissolving into the night. Eleanor shivered. "Did you feel that?" Hale glanced back. "The wind? Perhaps." But her voice was quiet, and her fingers tightened on the lantern's handle. The bell tower rose above them now, its great bronze bell still and waiting. Around the village green, neighbors stood in small clusters, their faces lit by trembling candlelight. Children crouched in the grass, coaxing paper lanterns into the air. A soft murmur carried across the square, voices low and reverent, blending with the occasional creak of a sign swinging in the wind. Hale's gaze lingered on the bell. "Do you ever wonder," he asked softly, "if the vigil isn't for the dead at all, but for us, to remind us we're still here?" Eleanor turned to him. "Perhaps it's for both." "Perhaps," he echoed. As they moved past the green, Eleanor felt a tug of unease. A faint movement caught her eye, a curtain stirring in an upper window, though the glass was firmly closed. She looked away quickly. They stopped at a low stone wall on the lane beyond the green. Eleanor set her lantern down, its light pooling in the damp grass. "You're quiet tonight," Hale said. "It's a quiet night." "That it is." He leaned his staff against the wall and studied her, his face softened by the golden light. "Do you feel it? The stillness?" "No, the watching." Eleanor's breath caught. She glanced over her shoulder, half expecting to see someone, or something, standing at the edge of the mist. But the lane was empty. "I try not to think about such things," she said finally. Hale smiled faintly. "That's sensible." A faint sound stirred the air, like a footstep on gravel, but when she looked, there was no one there. Her heart thudded. "Do you believe in ghosts, Mr. Hale?" she asked suddenly. "I believe in things we don't see," he said carefully. "But ghosts? No, not really." "Perhaps you're lucky," she murmured. "And you?" "I've felt presences." She hesitated. Not frightening, just lingering. He stepped closer, his boots brushing hers. "You linger in my thoughts, Eleanor White." She looked up, startled by the raw honesty in his voice. "I shouldn't say that," he added, softer now. "Not here, not on this night." "Then don't." But she didn't move away. In the distance, the bell tower stirred. The sound was slow and deliberate. 1, 2, 3. The silent hour was over. Eleanor felt her breath catch as Hale reached for her hand. "Stay," he said. "Just a little longer." Before she could answer, the lantern light flickered violently, flaring as if caught in a sudden gust. A shadow passed across the wall behind them. Tall and lean, moving impossibly fast, Eleanor gasped, turning sharply. But there was nothing, only the sound of leaves rustling, and then silence. When she turned back, Hale's face was pale in the lantern glow. "You saw it too," she whispered. He nodded once. "We're not alone." Their hands tightened together, fingers intertwined like roots anchoring against a storm. And then, softly, he kissed her. The world held its breath. As they made their way back toward the village, Eleanor felt the chill lift slightly. The candles in windows glowed steady now, no longer quivering. Whatever presence had walked with them had gone. At her gate, Hale paused. "Tomorrow night," he said. "Will you meet me here again?" "I will." His thumb brushed her knuckles gently before he let go, and as she stepped inside, Eleanor felt it. A faint warmth in the air, as if Bellewood itself approved.